Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Thursday afternoon episode, or early evening episode of Ted's Booze Cellar, with me, your most gracious host, Ted. It is 5:41 on the 17th of August, bit off there, of 2023, and I'm taking a look today at another drink very kindly gifted to me by our good friend James, the fine Aussie gentleman who you guys may have seen on the Soju episode recently with our other colleague Cody. This is another gift from him and his partner Mathilde. Mathilde is French, and she knows her stuff about French food and drink, and so does James, to be fair. And they've gifted me very kindly some French farmer's cider. Now, I don't really tend to massively like British cider. There are some good ones. I suppose is always one that sticks to mind, but French cider is a league of its own, really. I mean, there are some good craft British ciders, but generally speaking, French farmer's cider is where the buck stops and ends. This is Cidre Fermier de Haute Bretagne, Brut, which is Brittany farmer's cider, and it's by Yves Pascal Dufour, as you can see there. I don't know if that is to make, or if it's just the producers, but it's a very nice simple bottle, this one. Very clean, very nicely designed, very refreshing as well, so I'll give it a good 10 out of 10 for the design of the bottle and the label, and I like the artwork here as well. That's very simple but very homely. But yeah, no, James and his partner got this for me, very kindly so. They've now provided 3 drinks for this show, which I think is tremendously generous, but I do like French farmer's cider, so I'll gladly accept. I'm also going to partially dedicate today's episode to Imogen and Owen as well. Obviously, you guys have seen them on a few episodes in the past. Owen, he's just sort of been going through a tremendous amount recently, and I think he deserves tremendous credit for dealing with it like a real trooper. And same to Imogen as well. To her for also getting a job that she wanted today. So, massive congratulations. You should both be tremendously proud of yourselves. We're going to open this sucker up and see what our first impressions are like. Let's see. Always do like a good snifter of French drinks. Ooh. It's got this caramelly sort of like through line in that nose there, with a very slightly florally after smell. So far it's a good nose. I'm just a bit not sure about the after smell. It's got this perfuminess to it that I'm not really quite sure about. As it is, it's a lovely nose. So in the bottle, the nose is probably like an 8 out of 10. But we'll see what it's like when we pour it into the glass. And yes, I know I'm committing sacrilege by pouring a French cider into a Mexican beer glass, but at least I'm not pouring it into my Paulaner München glass, which is obviously for a German beer. That would be somewhat sacrilegious considering historical circumstances. But anyway, let's have a quick snifter of this. Yeah, the nose is definitely a bit more fuller bodied in the glass for sure. Definitely smell more of like this caramel apple smell throughout the main through line. And the after smell is a little less harsh. It feels like it's quite a lot more concentrated in the bottle, but here it feels like you can properly breathe it in a little bit, and it's not quite so harsh. So yeah, in the bottle it's 8 out of 10, but in the glass 9. Yeah, I think a strong 9 for the nose if you're having it in the glass. But anyway, before we see what this sucker tastes like, as always, good old palate cleanser. Let's have ourselves a quick old palate cleanser, yeah? Imogen and Owen, for some reason, are obsessed with that part of the video. Don't know why, but to each their own. And now, on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, bottoms up. Very smooth. It's kind of got like, the initial texture is kind of like similar to the dryness you'd see in like a British country cider. But then you've got this slightly perfumey, floral aspect to it that you'd see more in like a craft cider, but then the texture after that initial taste is really like nice and moist and sort of wet throughout the main through line, more like a French cider. And unlike the sort of French farmer's cider I previously reviewed, there is a slight caramel aspect to it, but it's very, very much more subdued. It's not quite as strong in the undertones of the flavour. Really, the main aspects of this, rather than it being like apple and caramel, is more apple and sort of floralness. You know, it's definitely quite sort of vibrant in that aspect. And despite it being, sort of being primarily sort of like a wet, moist texture, there's this really distinct sort of golden crispness at the end that you kind of expect more from like a lager, really, which is quite unique. It adds a really interesting finish to the cider, because cider I generally tend to find obviously has quite a different texture to lager, but it really complements the rest of the flavour here really nicely. You've got really simple flavour of like apple and like flowers, and then like you've got this really weird but really nice like crispness at the end that really ties it together all really well. The flavour is so simple, but the body of the flavour is really full and juicy, and like you really get a good impression for what you're drinking here. It's just simple, hearty, but refreshing, and also very light apple cider. Because keep in mind, this is only 5% alcohol volume, so it's not super strong. But yeah, no, it's really refreshing, really, really nice. Obviously, I am committing somewhat sacrilege by not having it in a clay bowl or a mug, as they would traditionally do in northern France. But I think, you know, a Mexican pint glass is still good enough. But wow, yeah, that's really good. It's very distinct from Normandy farmer's cider. Normandy farmer's cider I find is a bit more caramelly, whereas this is definitely a bit more floral. But I think they're both good in their own ways, and I really like this stuff. Trying to think, what should I rate this? It's definitely one of the best ciders I've reviewed in ever. I'm struggling to find much to criticise about it. I wish there was a bit more to the flavour. Like there's just a slight something missing. Like something else to like contrast the main through line of the flavour against. But generally, this is just a simple apple cider, and there's not much to say about it apart from that. Well, you know, I don't think you really need much more to say if you just really enjoy a drink. So I think I'll give this a solid. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm landing pretty solidly on a 9. Yeah, this is one of my favourite ciders I've ever had. This is really good stuff. Simple, refreshing, different enough from Normandy cider that you can sort of give it a, you know, its own sort of like fair and honest review, but also similar enough that you know what you're getting into if you've had Normandy cider before. But yeah, really good stuff. Thank you again to James and Mathilde for this. Solid 9 out of 10. Really, really enjoyed it. But as always, if you guys like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions excuse me. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below, as well as any other particular points you might have agreed or disagreed with in particular in the video. And if you have any desire to check out what else I'm doing online, I'll leave the links to my social medias and other bits and bobs in the video description below. And if you like this video in general, just leave a like, share and subscribe. But until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, drink responsibly, know your limits, wash your hands, take care of everyone else around you. Until next time, I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Au revoir.